Hi guys, Stephen Boyle here. Now, just want to talk to you about a campaign that we've been running called WTF is GDPR. So that is regarding a conversation I had some months ago with a client who said to me, what the beep is GDPR? At the time it's kind of like a little bit under the radar. Obviously now it's everywhere. Everyone's talking GDPR. Now, when I founded Marketing Republic, I kind of did it under that post-cold calling era where everyone's saying, cold calling is dead, that's still up for debate. But we based the principles on cold calling 2.0, which was using data, using cold email to start conversations. And then once we have those conversations on email, we set up calls. We then qualify as deeply as possible for our clients, and we create genuine sales opportunities. Now, we don't want to go too far away from our roots, but GDPR regulation is coming on the 25th of May. If you don't know, where have you been? Under a rock? But it's everywhere. Now, everyone's talking about GDPR all over the place right now. And of course, there's lots of information about your HR issues and other things like that. But in terms of marketing and specifically sales prospecting, there's so much concern out there about how do you go about prospecting under GDPR regulations and making sure you comply, because if you don't, you're in for some big fines or big slap wrists or just bad PR. It's not good, guys. So GDPR is a weak piece of legislation, if you ask me, because there's so many grey areas of what you can do and what you can't do. So our WTF is GDPR campaign, we wanted to test different methodologies about how we become compliant with GDPR but still get fantastic results for us and our clients. So we tested three things. We tested a direct mail campaign, we tested a cold email outreach campaign that was designed to get permission, and we tested LinkedIn as well. So it's been really interesting. Now, instead of us traditionally, what we'd do, we would source data by researching. Once we've got a real understanding of our clients' ideal customer profile, we'd manually, literally research and find the right people, find all the right contact details, and build up that database all the time. Now, under GDPR, you can't do that. So we sourced data from a well-known data broker, list provider, told them exactly what we're looking to do. We did this campaign for our own business. So we didn't risk our clients' business to test it. We did it for our own business, our own proposition. So we know it works, we know it's proven. And we didn't necessarily talk about GDPR compliant campaigning. We talked about just general business development services. So we sourced that data and we sent out DM campaign and we started using cold email. Now the cold email was designed to target specific people and to ask permission to say, this is what we do. We'd like to send you some more information and have a conversation with you about GDPR compliant, about business development itself. The response rates were diabolical. The bounce rate was terrible. Response rates were way below what we would normally get. Terrible response rates. The DM campaign was a very simple campaign with a letter that we send out a number of times to people under the same sort of message that we're looking, this is what we do, this is how we help people. Please go to this link here to give us permission to contact you to make sure that it's compliant. People are requesting more information. Again, diabolical response. Now, we've been doing this for years now. We've sent out millions of campaigns using cold email. We know what we're doing. We know how to get response. My first concern here is data. Because I always say bad data, bad results. Now, I've had a few little sparring matches with data providers on LinkedIn particularly about this GDPR compliant data. What does that mean? Have you been contacted by a data provider to say, I've got your name, your email, your telephone, your postal address, your business, all the information. Can you give me permission to flog that to anyone I can? Have you been asked that question? Because I haven't. No one has called me. I've been in business a long time. No one's called me to say, is it okay to sell your name to different people who may want to buy it? And you can just get offers from all kinds of different businesses, because GDPR to me means I'm interested in a specific proposition, so I request more information for that proposition from that particular business. Now, let's say that is anything, a marketing agency for argument's sake. If I'm interested in that particular marketing agency and I opt in and I say, yes, please, I'm interested in having calls and emails from you about your proposition, that's acceptable for them to contact me. But for them to then sell that name to an engineering firm, a legal firm, an accountancy practice, or any other different type of business, how is that compliant? How can one opt-in or apply to a number of different businesses? How can that piece of data be compliant? Don't get it. I don't agree with it. I don't think it really is. I think if you're buying data, just be really careful to make sure it's compliant, because I'm very sceptical about the whole data industry. The quality of the data we bought basically was poor, let's be polite, poor. So that affects the campaign. The results were terrible, it bombed. Now, when we first started running that campaign and started getting that vibe that this isn't going to be too clever, we looked at other ideas as well. One idea that we had was, look, we've done this before for clients, let's use LinkedIn. For the same process, but use LinkedIn as a platform, the communication platform, all the data's there, it's 100% compliant. We know we can find, there's 500 million businesses out there, or people rather, on LinkedIn. So we've run a campaign for ourselves and for a client who wants us to do it as well anyway, on LinkedIn. And these are some of the results we've got, which are remarkably similar. So for our campaign, in the last month alone, on the connection requests we sent out, we got 35% connection conversion. So 35% of the people we asked to connect actually connected with us. And then from that, we've actually had 158 people respond. And from there, we've had LinkedIn message conversations, and then people agreed to a call, and we've had multiple calls. We've won some clients, and we've got multiple clients at proposal stage, and loads of ongoing conversations as well for people who aren't quite ready, but they're interested in talking further. It's been successful. It's been really successful, and it's really exciting. Now, for a client campaign we've run over the past two and a half months, we've got, again, a similar 35% connection conversion, about a 25% response rate, and loads of opportunity here. Now, we're talking about on two CEOs of top 10 UK clothing retailers, CEOs, for our client this is. We've got now opportunities for our client in the Far East, in the US, across Europe. It's been unbelievable. It's been so exciting, and it's like, wow, here's a solution. Everyone wants to be GDPR compliant, but look, if you're in sales, if you run a sales team, if you own a business, you want new business, don't you? We all want new business. We want ideal clients. We want deals that convert. We want to grow our business, become more profitable. So, of course, we're going to comply with regulation. We don't want to cheat, but ultimately, we're interested in sales. How do we do that in a way that's compliant? Our LinkedIn management service we're now offering to clients is getting some fantastic results in the beta test that we've been running recently. As I've just described, it's really working well. It's connected with multinational businesses as well as solopreneurs, entrepreneurs, business owners, different niches as well. So it's really getting good results. So in the comments section, if you want to know more, look at the link I'll post in that connection in the comments about how else we help people doing this. Or if you want to talk to me, DM me directly and I'll happily tell you more about how this works. But GDPR compliant sales prospecting is so important on the 25th of May. What are you doing about it? If you want to know how we can help you, if we can't help you, but I'm pointing in the right direction, happy to have that conversation. But if you want help of people, we've got experience, we're running these campaigns now, we know what works, we know as we scale this more and more, we're going to get better and better results at this. But it's working, guys, right now. If you want to find out more, message me, check the link below, and I look forward to talking to you soon. Have a great day. See you soon. Bye.